Hello, Nettie.
Hello, baby. Happy Sunday.
It is Sunday Fun Day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go over here real quick. I'm going to welcome everyone to the chat. We have Shannon Craft. We have me getting busy doing something on my phone and hitting the zeros.
I know.
Then we have, of course, Nettie. And then we have Nettie again. We have Linda Barker.
Mm-hmm.
Hello and welcome. We have Christina Bell. Hello and welcome. All right. Let me hit something again real quick. Okay, that's new. Or at least I think it's new. Watch our names on the screen.
Okay.
See, our names are there right now.
Uh-huh.
When we hit comment, our names are gone. I don't think that used to happen. Unless I completely
don't remember it
missed
happening.
I think that's new. I don't know. We have Tommy Travels. All of my personalities agree to be here today.
Did you that see was that? A good short you did.
Oh, man, that one, as soon as I seen that sound, I was like, oh, I'm saving that. If you haven't seen the short, go check it out. It's a short about me and my voices finally coming to an agreement about something.
Yeah, all in her head.
All right. Oh, and the new background. We are now in a Christmas wonderland.
I love it. It's beautiful.
Well, I figured you had your tree up. I need to get my tree up. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and get started on our story today.
Yay.
And I'm thinking this at the beginning. Yeah. I will let you go first.
Okie doke. Heather and Steven Strube were married in May of 2004. Their son, Carson, was born in September of 2007, but soon after the marriage began falling apart.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I can hear the puppy. He's jingling up and down the hallway behind me. Jingle, jingle, jingle. And then he stops and he jingles back. I don't know if you all can hear it, but I'm hearing it this whole time. All right.
I can't hear him.
Heather Strube, 25, and her estranged husband, Steven Strube, and son, Carson.
Yeah, they look pretty young, huh?
Yeah, they look pretty young. It appears that the marriage failed because of Steven's infidelity. By April of 2009, their divorce was within just a few weeks of being final. It seems that initially, I know how to say that word. Hold on, my tongue literally tied up. It seems that initially, there we go, there had been a fight over custody of Carson. Shannon Craft says, I do hear him.
Oh.
Real quick, the puppy he's been with us. This is his third week. We're coming up on his third week. He's already fully potty trained. He's crate trained at night. He can't quite make the jump to get in the vehicle yet, but he jumps out of the vehicle. And then he sits pretty to get like his anything. If he wants food or his thing, his harness on or any of that, he sits and he patiently lets us do it now. So he's come so far in just 3 weeks. I'm so proud of him.
Definitely. How old is he, baby?
He will be coming up on 13 weeks.
Wow.
13 weeks old.
Smart
so he's
puppy.
Young. And actually, my son was saying that we thought we got him at 10 weeks, but my son said I might have been wrong and we might have got him at 9 weeks. So he's 13 or 12 weeks. Yeah, but when I'm in here and he can hear me, he comes down the hallway and he wants to check and see what I'm doing, but that causes the other dogs to start going crazy. So,
yeah.
All right, back to the story. Sorry for the interruption. There we go.
The couple seemed to be splitting their time fairly well. It seemed, but at least initially, they each wanted to be considered for primary custody.
The primary custody thing,
Mm-hmm.
just speaking on custody issues, it used to be that moms ended up getting like primary custody immediately. There was no back and forth or figuring out unless the mother was completely unfit. It used to be that the mother always got primary custody and the fathers got every other weekend visits. But about 7 years ago, 6 years ago, they switched that and they made it to where as long as both parents are fit, it's 50-50 across the board. It's just automatically 50-50. And I thought, that's a really good improvement because I know a lot of single dads that raise their kids that deserve to be raising their kids.
Yeah.
And the way the laws were before, they didn't have that opportunity. So now I just think that's kind of a huge improvement that we've made in family court is making sure that both parents get that custody. And because of that, that kind of eliminates some of that fighting as well between people.
Yeah.
All right. Steven agreed to give Heather primary custody, and they were just waiting for their paperwork to be signed. However, it does not appear that information was known to everyone, and maybe not even to Joanna Hayes, Steven's mother. Oh, we have Thrifty Angela in here. Just finished dinner. Joanna Hayes.
On April 26, 2009, Heather and Steven were meeting in the parking lot of a Target department store in Snellville, Georgia.
Actually, the whole house has been really busy working together to get him trained up. But thank you. And yes, but he reads at a 16-week level. Too funny. Thank you, Fordman, aka Kenneth Oakes. Hello and welcome. Snellville. That sounds like something out of a Dr. Seuss book.
It does, right?
Oh, Shanna Craft says my sister-in-law lives there.
Oh, wow.
It appears that during their divorce, Heather had moved in with her parents in Conyers, and Steven moved in with his mother and stepfather in Libertyville. Snellville was approximately halfway for each of them.
Mm-hmm.
Not too bad.
That was a little bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah.
And there's the Target.
That's where they used to meet at?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The couple met in the parking lot right about 6 that evening as their normal time as Steven was dropping Carson off to Heather. The exchange happened and Steven drove away while Heather put Carson, who was now 18 months old, in his car seat.
I have the feeling this story is going in a bad direction.
Yeah. How cute.
Oh, that is the blondest hair and the biggest eyes. Oh, Roy and Becky's here. They got some internet. All right. Witnesses in the parking lot would later say that they saw a person who they described either first as a man or a strange-looking man hanging around nearby as if waiting for Steven Strube to drive away. Set up.
Once that happened, the person walked up to Heather near her car Some witnesses claim that Heather appeared to know the person and that a few words were exchanged before Heather appeared to be backing away from the person.
I was just bragging on that dog, and now he's out there barking.
He's saying, "Mama."
He's trying to play. My daughter's upstairs, and whenever she comes upstairs, he thinks it's playtime, and she does not think it's playtime. Heather attempted to open the front door to her vehicle, but the other person closed it. Just after that, the other person put a gun to Heather's head, pulled the trigger, and walked away at a fast pace, but also in a strangely calm manner. The person would disappear behind the parking lot where a hotel was adjacent. Oh, and her son was sitting right there.
Yeah, and this was 6 o'clock.
Busy parking lot, I'm sure, at 6 o'clock in the evening. Oh,
Yeah.
Unreal.
Of course, considering the fact that the divorce and custody battle were ongoing issues, investigators first had to look at that as being a motive. Yeah.
Oh, man. Hearing that the child's there and witnesses it, I don't know where this story's going. I don't know this story. But I will say, if the other parent set this up in any way, shape, or form and did this with their child there, oh man. Hello, happy place. On the top of their suspect list was Steven Strube and his girlfriend. It would be the job of the investigators to inform Steven of his soon-to-be ex-wife's murder, and they would say that he did truly seem surprised and distraught. Well, it's got to be somebody that knew them personally. It doesn't sound like there was a robbery or anything. So
she just put Carson in his car seat in the back when she was approached.
Well, whoever knew them, whoever did this, doing it with the child there is doing it to begin with disgusting. Extra disgusting to do it with the child there. Hello, me time. Welcome. I'm trying to click you, but all of a sudden my screen just ran up. So hello, me time, and happy places tagging everybody. Did it switch for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Steven, in fact, signed the papers giving Heather custody of Carson. He let the investigators know that fairly early on, but to be fair, the papers were not official yet and anything could have happened.
Wait a minute. Is he saying that she's giving complete custody of the baby to him?
Steven actually signed the papers giving Heather custody of Carson.
Oh, okay. He's
letting
signing
them know. Yeah.
Got it. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of it today, guys. My back has been out for 2 weeks and it is on my last nerve. And when I move just the right way, my back is sending a pain up to my head. So sorry if I get a little behind on this. I'm loopy anyway. Y'all know that. All right. Even still, it would appear, at least to investigators, that Steven had not had Heather killed in order to gain custody. Next, officers wanted to talk to Steven's girlfriend. Dun, dun, dun. It's terrible either way, but I would have been out of there if that precious little baby had died. Yeah, or even just knowing that baby is sitting there, whether they remember or don't remember, too young to remember, it doesn't matter. Just that precious baby sitting there seeing it happen. Like,
Mhm.
what kind of person are you to do that in front of, you're killing the mother of this baby in front of the baby. Something in my brain is going,
Yeah.
that's above and beyond disgusting.
And it was a busy day. You know, the photos that they showed that I captured, there was cars everywhere.
Yeah, I would assume like that's right when everybody's getting off work, and if you guys stop and get anything on the way home, those are the busiest times.
Right. She had been the reason for the divorce, but they wondered if she was upset that Heather may get custody of Carson and possibly wanted to raise the child with Steven.
See, now that stuff right there, another woman trying to raise another woman's child. It's just there is nothing wrong with a step parent stepping in and giving extra love and extra support. And, you know, a child's life is blessed so much more when they get all those other family, like divorce is hard no matter what, but when you bring in other people that just shower them with love and give them the extra love, you can change a child's life and the direction their life's going. But if a step parent comes in and tries to take over or tries to push out an actual biological parent, first of all, it's wrong to do. Second of all, I truly believe that's always going to come back and bite that person in the butt.
Yep.
You know?
Karma.
Yeah, it's just wrong. Sad. Yeah. All right. She seems almost ashamed to say it. She admits that she did not necessarily want Steven to get custody of Carson, and that despite caring for Carson, she truly enjoyed the time the couple had when he was not around. And that's kind of normal. Sadly, women can be very jealous, and that includes jealousy of a child. Here we go. 50 Angela said, "Yep, agree. I never tried to start trouble or step in as my stepdaughter's mom. I just tried to be there for her and love her. Never wanted to replace her mom. She's 21 now, and we're super close." I love that. I love hearing that. I have 2 bonus children, and I will always call them bonus children because they make my heart complete and full. I mean, I always loved my children, but adding my 2 additional children, it just like what was supposed to be that way, you know? And I will sit down with my bonus son, and he doesn't get to see his mom very much, and he misses her a lot. And, you know, sitting down and having those conversations about how much he loves her and how he could maybe let her know he misses her and stuff like that. I enjoy that. That's, you know, part of being a bonus mom, and I love every minute of that. All right.
In the meantime, investigators also obtained surveillance video from the parking lot and other areas that show the mysterious person just before and after Heather was shot.
Yeah, you got to wonder what this person was thinking when there, you know, is surveillance cameras and all these witnesses. Person walking up to Heather caught on camera. Heather says, I love that you all, them bonus kids. Yeah. Probably call them bonus kids. I like that, bonus children. I've been with my husband since she was 1, and I love her so much. Yeah, I love my bonus kids as if they were my own. But I also know that they have a mom, you know, and they love their mom. And I don't know. I figure even kids that have come and stayed here because of their situations at home, I call them my bonus kids, and I love them too because you can shower kids with love and actually change the trajectory. Did I say that word right? Trajectory of their life.
Mhm.
And it's kind of a neat thing to be a process or a part of that process. I mean,
Yeah.
happy place to stuff in her face, and Thrifty Angela is wrapping presents. I'm not even close to done with my stuff yet. I think this is one's yours.
They were not at all sure this was a man who committed the crime. They thought the disguise was as others had described it to be, odd, and the person had almost a feminine build and walked to them.
In fact, the sketches that were developed by police based on witness identification showed the person as almost wearing a strange-looking wig and fake mustache.
It was such an odd disguise that it was dubbed the Sonny and Cher disguise, as it did tend to look a lot like Sonny Bono from the late 1960s and early 70s.
I wonder if it was dubbed the Sonny and Cher because it was a mix of Sonny and Cher. Like it looked like a female, but looked like Sonny.
Right.
Hello to everyone that has said hello to me in the chat in the last little bit. I'm typing through a phone, so I'm not tagging everyone. Tagging through a phone can be very difficult. We get that. I don't know who Gabe Kaplan is. Should I know who that is? Oh, and then again,
But
we're
Mr. Cotta. I know Mr. Cotta.
Whoa, Sonny did it. Yeah, that looks like. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm laughing at a murder suspect, but that hair. Oh man, that hair. That is a terrible disguise. What were they thinking when they went and put on that disguise?
Exactly. Look at that. They could have at least had a mullet.
Happy Place said, "What the?" Just throw a hat over your face. You know, one of the masks that robbers wear. That would have been better than that hair. While investigators were interviewing people, they also interviewed Steven's mother, Joanna Hayes. She told investigators that she had left the home before Steven had left to drop off Carson. Does look like Mr. Cotter. Looks like my hair in the morning. I think they got the costume at a thrift store. Linda Barker said, my husband and I raised my stepson since he was 6. He's 50 now and lives at home and calls me mom. Oh, I love that.
Aww.
I will definitely look that up, Tommy, I promise. Grandma's looking a little evil.
She indicated that she may have done some shopping first, but then headed to her parents' home that was more than an hour away.
She do some shopping at Target by chance?
I know, right?
By disguise? I don't know. Just wondering.
Could have been a thrift store next to Target.
True. Once in the town, she had gone to a post office and stopped at a Wendy's restaurant for a Frosty. She provided investigators with a receipt still in her truck from Wendy's. They noted the time as being 7:19. Oh, she kind of looks like the drawing. Everyone picture the hair and the mustache. Roy and Becky said, I don't consider Preston my stepson. I consider him my boy too. Yes.
Yeah.
I always think the step, when you add step in front of a child, that it separates That's why I never could do it. So I always just said bonus because I don't want to claim them as 100% mine because I don't get that honor. You know what I mean? But I figure bonus makes it sound a little.
Yeah, because step is like not very welcoming to a child. You know what I mean? And the bonus is definitely something that shows how much you love them being with you.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has their own way of doing it. I just have always in my head, that's the way I always broke it down for me. But I love hearing the stories about people that have raised their stepchildren or have spent all the years with their stepchildren. And then, there is no separation between step and actual child. It just all melts into one. I love hearing those stories. Now, she definitely looks, though, like she should be wearing that mustache.
She looks a little cray-cray.
Yeah. And I forget whose turn it is to read next.
Okay. It also seems that Joanna did not hold back on the distaste for Heather. She apparently made clear to the investigators that she did not like Heather and thought she was a horrible mother.
This is why grandparents should just stay out of it. Of course, you're not going to like the person that's not with your child anymore. Like, your heart's automatically going to go to, like, if my daughter had a boyfriend and she broke up with her boyfriend, I'm automatically not going to like her boyfriend because he hurt my daughter's heart. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means that the relationship didn't work out. Linda Barker said, evil stepmom. Yeah, I think that's it, is that you always hear about the evil stepmom in, stories or, whatever. And so I just think that replacing that word has been helpful. And then Tommy did text me, and I wanted to show you all.
Yeah.
So that definitely does look like the
Mr. Kata.
Yeah. I don't call him stepson. I just call him my son. I only use stepson if I need to explain the relationship. Very good, very good. And then Happy Place said, well, I mean, you can dislike someone, but that doesn't mean you're going to take them off the face of the earth. True. Very true. I guess if you're normal, like if you're a normal person, you wouldn't.
And in this case, her son is the one that wasn't faithful. And was the reason why the divorce happened. So it wasn't like Heather did anything to Steven.
Yeah.
So
my loyalty to my children goes so far. I think I've talked about this in like true crime sense before too, like in the Gabby Petito case. If I know my child has done something wrong, am I still going to love them? Yes. But we're also going to march our little butts right on down to the police station, and we're going to tell the police what we did wrong, and we're going to own our crime. You know what I mean? And that's something, even when it comes to lying or making mistakes around the house or anything like that, I'm always telling them, you own your mistake. You can't move forward past anything if you don't own it. So like parents that cover up crimes and stuff, I'm never going to understand it.
Right.
Happy Place. Tommy just busted this case wide open. Hello, Adventures in Xanadu.
Hello, neighbors.
All right. Two days after the murder, a truck driver named Darryl Myers contacted the police department. He had been staying at the hotel that was next to the parking lot in which Heather had been shot.
He informed them that on the day before the murder, he had seen a white truck come into the hotel lot and park. It seemed the person was taking pictures and acted a little odd.
The day before the person was shot?
Yeah.
Sounds like the son. Okay, I'm going to say what I think. You let me know if this is what you're thinking over there in the audience. But I'm thinking the son knew that was going to happen, and his mother did it, and maybe he like told her exactly where he goes, or maybe she just went and rode with him a lot. I don't know, but it seems like they would have, in order to end up in the right parking spots. I don't know. Seems a little fishy to me. Seems like there was more than one person involved. I could be wrong. You let me know what you think over there.
Yeah, because I can't comment to it.
Yeah. No, you can't tell us anything yet. But anybody else, let me know what you're thinking over there. Linda said, I've marched him down to the police station. Yeah, that's the kind of mom I am. You in trouble? We going to fix it. Mr. Cotter, up your nose with a rubber hose. Big line from the TV show. Off my case, toilet face. Okay, I've got to go see some clips of this show. Sounds interesting. Or her stalking Heather.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. That one's yours.
Then on the following day, around the time of the murder, he again saw the same white truck. It appeared as though he never saw anyone emerge from the truck, but did see someone return.
Interesting. He described the person much like those who had witnessed the murder. Myers claims that the person stared at him for a second and then seemingly took off in a hurry. I don't know why their disguise was so great. They couldn't be recognized.
The mustache was hanging off. No.
I just did something bad.
Yeah. Myers had very distinctly described the white truck to the make and model and the color of the stripe on the truck. Investigators decided to take Myers for a ride. Where are they taking him?
They're going to take him over by Grandma's house. Grandma got run over by a police car. They drove past Joanna Hayes' home where her truck was sitting outside. Darryl Myers positively identified that as being the truck he saw on both occasions.
You're so smart, BB.
Stealth camper. Yeah, but I still say there was somebody else involved. We're going to see as the story goes on.
Joanna's truck was sieged and searched, and there were small traces of gunshot residue found on the steering wheel and the dashboard.
If I move, no internet, Roy and Becky says.
Stay still.
Hang in there. Stay still. Don't move. All right. Prosecutors and investigators would say that Joanna was not immediately arrested because there was more to do in the investigation, including looking at all other tips.
Yep.
The investigation, the case. Oh, I just read your turn. Sorry.
It's okay. The investigation and case was sent to a grand jury, and Joanna Hayes was indicted in October of 2009. She was arrested and charged in Heather's murder in December of that year.
I'm interested in to Lava loud, BB. Poor grandma. And no reindeers, just police cars in this one. Nobody else helped her though, huh?
Do you see the similarity?
Oh man. They really messed up the nose on this one though. Because there's a very distinct curve in her nose. But other than that, I mean that looks pretty accurate. I mean, if you picture her with the mustache.
Well, Tommy thinks it's Kata.
Hoping Roy didn't get lost, he went to town for gas. And okay, that is too funny. Yeah, okay. So I'm not the only one looking at this and laughing. I mean, that's an interesting mugshot versus a police drawing. That is too funny. It appears that prior to her arrest, Steven had been shown the surveillance videos that had been recovered in the case, and when asked who it looked like, he openly admitted that it appeared to be his mother, right down to the distinctive stiff walk she had. He knew it was his mom. He had to turn in his mom. Oh.
After watching the video, Steven called his mother while the investigators listened. Steven confronted her about the video, but she did not fully incriminate herself.
Wow.
That would have to be terrible, as far as, like you said, with Carson being right there, 18 months old, and his mom being shot.
If you cared so much about your grandson that you were willing to go take his mom off the planet, why would you do it in front of him? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. If you care about him so much, why would you do something so tragic and so disgusting in front of him?
Yeah.
They should have made her stick her finger in a light socket to get the same hairstyle.
Becky.
Didn't fully. So she must have said something. Yeah, sounds like it. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Joanna Hayes went to trial in May of 2011. She maintained her innocence. The state called Steven to the stand, but by this point, he apparently had decided that the police had convinced him at the time that the person in the video looked like his mother, but he had since decided that it was not her and she was not involved.
How he gonna change it? I'm sure all that stuff was recorded. I'm sure all the conversations they had with him were recorded. I don't know. I guess that would be hard. It would be hard to wrap your head around the fact that your mom did something like that.
Yeah.
But Steven Strube Jr. At some point, the officers involved decided to take a trip from where the murder occurred to the Wendy's near Joanna's parents' home, in which she had provided a receipt. They were sure the defense would argue there was no time. The officers were able to do so in exact time needed. Oh, I think it was her.
Yeah. A former co-worker testified that Joanna had once said she could commit the perfect murder and described how she would do so. Why do they talk about this stuff? Oh, I can't hear you, BB.
The perfect murder? I'm confused. By what? Sticking her finger in a light socket and throwing a mustache on? I mean, she did it in a parking lot full of witnesses with surveillance cameras. Like, I'm so confused.
I'm surprised she didn't wear a dress
Right?
in that disguise.
Who else wouldn't want to do that? It wasn't even a robbery. It was an execution. Exactly. Well, she wasn't really craving a Frosty. She just did it to get an alibi. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. The conversations about the perfect murder. I am a true crime junkie. So I will admit that me and other people, I don't know how to commit the perfect crime. I know the different crimes that I've seen that are unsolved, but I don't know how to commit the perfect crime. I will say that Bulldog has said that from Florida, they talk about wood chippers and then gators and then the whole 9 yards. So
Yeah.
I get the whole having conversations that would be like, oh, I know how to commit the perfect murder, just from a true crime junkie perspective. But then to go out and murder, that's not smart. Especially the way she did it. That's not the perfect one at all. Is it my turn or yours?
It's your turn.
Okay. She allegedly told the coworker that she would obtain an unregistered revolver because they don't jam. It being unregistered causes it not to jam?
Right.
Okay. And would get it from someone likely at one of the construction sites she worked near. Your plan seems flawed.
Mm-hmm. I have to be fair in saying that this conversation apparently occurred more than a year before the murder, and seemingly before Steven and Heather had filed for divorce, seeing at the time of the conversation, Joanna was helping Heather out at her floral shop. So
they were close at one point, too.
was she planning it a year prior?
Uh-huh. Which Frosty goes best with murder? I'm going to say chocolate. Better get some fries to dip in it, too. The two most damaging witnesses, however, to the defense were both Steven Strube Jr. and Sr. Although Steven Jr. testified on the witness stand that he did not believe his mother was involved in Heather's murder, his interview with police, in which he did identify her, was shown to the jury. They also played the recorded telephone conversation. That ain't going to go well for you, buddy.
Yep. But then there was Steven Strube Sr. Over the years, Joanna had mentioned in several appeals that his testimony should not have been allowed or entered into the court as it was prejudicial.
I think because there's some kind of law where a husband and wife can't testify against each other. So maybe they got divorced during, or they weren't fully divorced. I don't know. Well, I guess maybe, I don't know how that law works. I know that you can refuse to testify against your significant other if you're married, but maybe it's you're allowed to if you want to testify. I don't know. I'd have to look more into that law. But I think that's what she's trying to claim there because they were married. The courts have disagreed, but I will let you decide for yourself on the matter. First, I should point out that while a murder weapon was never found, ballistics testing was done. The investigator testified that Heather had probably been shot with a .38 Rossi or a Taurus revolver. There was also gun residue on her steering wheel, so
Right.
and a witness.
This is where Steven Strube Sr. comes in. He and Joanna had divorced in 1991. He testified that through their divorce, at some point, she had placed a .38 Rossi revolver that she constantly carried with her to his head and threatened to pull the trigger.
Oh, so she's always had some issues, apparently. Happy Place said, I think you're right. They can't be forced, but if they want to voluntarily, they can. Yeah. Also, it looks like they were already divorced prior to.
Yeah, many years ago.
So, She put a gun to his head too. Wow. Now the problem with this testimony could be twofold. First and foremost, Strube never reported this to the police, and it seems unclear as to when he did first tell someone of this alleged occurrence. Angry woman. You just can't fix stupid.
Mm-mm.
True.
Secondly, I am not sure that the prosecution was able to find anyone else to speak about it if they knew about or had seen the alleged gun Strube testified to.
The old gun residue on the steering wheel. Hate it when that happens. Thank you, Ford man. We appreciate it. And I really do appreciate you sharing us out. Thank you for that. I think it's nice that everybody has the community tab now. It makes it really easier to share out our friends. And yeah, so I appreciate that. I try to share somebody out at least a couple times a week, different people. I'm not always so great about it, but it does help when we do that for each other.
Yeah.
All right. It appears that Joanna and Steven Sr. had more issues than one would normally have when it came to an ex-spouse. I mean, she put a gun to his head. Allegedly, supposedly.
Allegedly, yeah. Well, it seems at least through his testimony, the marriage was at least at some time violent and did not end well. It was likely compounded by the fact that in 2008, Steven Sr. married one of Joanna's sisters.
Whew. And it gets deeper. I wonder if she still had a relationship with her sister after her husband married her.
I wonder if she put a gun to her sister's head.
Oh, man. It sounds like a wine. A 38 martini and a Rossi Asti soup. I cannot say that last word. Thrifty Angela, BB, you gave me a shout out on TikTok. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Oh, no problem. Yeah, I'm trying to do that on TikTok a little bit more too. But actually, there's a comment on there. Somebody went over and watched some of your stuff on TikTok, and they really liked it. So, keeping it in the family, right? That would be enough to push somebody over the edge, though. Honestly. Of course, the defense brought this to light and explained that their relationship was an odd one, and there obviously seemed no love lost. For their part, the prosecution pointed out that Strube's marriage to Joanna's sister occurred nearly 20 years after their divorce. I mean, why they go with the sister, but also 20 years later?
Yeah.
It's not like he cheated with the sister. Yep, Roy got lost. I think Joanna was looking for a reason to use her gun, right?
Yeah.
I agree, Linda.
On May 17, 2011, Joanna Hayes was convicted on the charges of malice murder, felony murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony.
All right, I'm going to tell a little story. Happy Place says, still weird, 20 years or not, I would never marry my sister's ex. I know someone, I'm not going to say who because then it just gets even weirder, but I know someone that married their brother-in-law, like got caught cheating on their spouse with the brother-in-law, and they lived in different states. So, like, they were traveling across state lines to go have this rendezvous with the brother-in-law. And it made the other person so mad, the husband, when he found out that he drove out there with a shotgun and was going to take care of business. He didn't He didn't take care of business. He turned back around and he went and he got himself some mental help. But as weird as that sounds, as weird as this story sounds, this stuff does happen in real life. So,
Yeah.
he's back. I can't let him go anywhere by himself. Roy's been lost before. Poor Roy. Yeah, this stuff does happen though. Weird, but it happens.
Mm.
All right. She doesn't look like from that angle without the drawing next to her.
Yeah.
She looks like kind of innocent looking. She was given a sentence of life in prison with a chance of parole after 30 years. Joanna, along with all of her family, continued to maintain her innocence. Happy place. Oh, I know of some people that swapped partners, but still weird. Very weird.
Yeah.
Imagine if they have kids. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if you have kids and the kids get kind of mixed up in that, and now their uncle's their dad. You know, it's like
Right.
weird.
Yeah.
Uncle, dad, cousins, or stepbrothers and sisters. It's like, whoa, explain that again? My ex-sister-in-law married her brother-in-law and had kids together. Whew. Thrifty Angela, I just don't know. I don't think I could be with someone that has been with one of my sisters. Yuck. Yes, I agree. I just know of someone personally that had that whole thing happen and weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Joanna has attempted, at least to the media and the court, to soften her thoughts on Heather, and has often maintained that she loved Heather and would have never done such a thing.
Didn't she already say she didn't really like her? Like, wasn't that something she testified to the police that she didn't think she was a good mother and stuff?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Can't take back what you already said. Prosecutors saw that as a lie, considering her first interview with investigators, and see it only as attempting to divert attention away from her. Yes.
Yep. Then there is a side note that involves Steven Jr. and his son Carson. It appears that Steven had intended to give Heather primary custody of Carson prior to her murder.
Steven was involved. He just didn't get caught. I have questions. However, upon her death, allegedly, in my opinion, sorry, okay. However, upon her death, he was the only parent Carson had left. It is not clear as to what it was, but apparently in 2008, Steven had gotten into some legal trouble that had placed him on probation.
It is also not clear what he may have done to violate that probation. I can say that at the time of Joanna Hayes' arrest, Steven was serving time for the probation violation.
Yeah, I think there's more to this. Heather's parents obtained temporary custody of Carson in August of 2009, but other information stated that they were granted that temporary custody almost immediately after her death.
Mm-hmm. It seems that Carson never went to live with his father, at least not before Joanna was arrested and charged with Heather's murder.
Joanna Hayes was the perpetrator in Heather Strube's murder, but what I find interesting is that this was done in essence to prevent her son from losing custody of a child. He allegedly not only already signed papers granting Heather custody, but seemingly was not interested in full custody for himself.
And then, even upon her death, Stephen was not given custody of the child. In this situation, it was for absolutely nothing, considering none of the events Joanna believed or wanted to take place happened. And on top of that, she gets at least 30 years in prison to reflect on that.
30 years. She's supposed to spend her life in there. 30 years, she'll be like 80, 90 years old. She needs to stay there forever.
Yeah.
1984 to 2009. Wow, so young.
25.
Okay, so allegedly, my opinion, we're going to talk about my opinion here for a minute, just in case anybody's curious. My opinion still goes back to, I think that there were two people involved because, okay, parental exchange of children. I've done this, been there, done this. You either pull up outside the person's house and the kids come out, or you take the kid out if they're too little to walk, whatever. And that's how you do the exchange. But if you do it at a public place, you're not going to have the same parking spot every single time. And that trucker said that she was there taking pictures and stuff and like basically scouting out the area in which she was going to commit this crime.
Right.
They wouldn't park in the same spot every time. I guarantee you, you're not going to be able to park in the same spot every time, especially with it being as busy as it was at the time. And so then his story changes. It seems like he almost felt guilty that I don't know. It seems like he was involved. 100% seems like he was involved. And it didn't seem like he even wanted his kid. Maybe he was afraid to tell his mother he didn't want his kid. I don't know. It just seems very, very fishy to me that.
And I'm thinking, if this was like really planned out, why wouldn't she have waited for him to actually, when they did their meetup, take Carlton and then Heather's alone?
Yeah.
And then do what you wanted to do to Heather, without him being there.
Yeah. Why would she wait until the child was returned? I don't know.
Right. It's just.
It doesn't make much sense. It seems like it was planned very, very well, but also very, very badly. It seems like they put a lot of thought into how it was going to happen and how it was going to go down. And I say they because I still am going to stick with I think there was more than one person in on this, or at least knew about this. But it seems like there was a lot of thought into how they were going to do it and how it was going to go down. But it doesn't seem like there was a lot of thought into cameras and the witnesses. And it just seems like somebody that and so bright maybe came up with it.
And during the day, at least maybe she would have looked more like a man if it was dark. And the cameras, were filming her at nighttime.
Becky said, my niece was so confused. Were they her siblings or her cousins? That gets confusing. Very confusing. Yeah, that would be in the back of my mind always. Oh, the person slept with your sister or sister-in-law or whatever. Yeah. Guess some people don't let it be, though. Could have signed it knowing his mother's attention. My guess is his mother never let her and possibly had someone else in mind for him to marry. Never liked her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she was hoping if he had full custody, he would leave the kid with her to raise. That's true, too. Maybe if he had instead of the other grandparents getting custody, maybe she thought she would. Good thing she didn't. Honestly, if she held a gun up to her ex-husband's head. But if she could study the area, I feel like he had a hand in it. Shanna Graff thinks he had a hand in it. Yeah. It was.
I think it was a plan. Yeah.
I gotta go. Great show. Hope everyone has a great night. Bye all. Bye, Thrifty Angela. Thanks for staying. It was planned by both. He signed the paperwork so he wouldn't pop up on police radar. That's good thinking.
Yep.
Well, her unregistered gun didn't jam, so her theory was right. Uh, I wonder if what was meant by that was because it was a revolver and not a magazine. Because like the mags will usually, they don't jam that often, but they could jam. Whereas a revolver wouldn't jam. But the way that it was written very much came across like because it was a registered gun, it wouldn't jam.
Yeah.
Great show as always. Thank you.
Thank you,
Heather.
Kenneth.
I got to run too. I need to charge up the laptop for the Chiefs game later. Great show. All right. Well, you
Thank
have
you.
fun watching the game. And thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I really appreciate it. Wishing you all much kindness and much love.
And we're sending love your way.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.